Parts of this episode of Garden Time were recorded before COVID-19 and social distancing requirements.
Hey Judy, want to be part of the team?
What team?
The Dream Team.
Dream Team?
Yeah, you, me, and all of our viewers on this episode of Garden Time. Welcome to Garden Time. We'd like to wish our dream team, the Portland Trailblazers, good luck on their shortened season.
And there's one season that's not shortened, and that's the gardening season, so it's not too late to plant some beautiful flowers.
Coming up on the show today, the dahlia fields are open, and we'll take out the Swan Island dahlias and give you an update on what's happening.
We'll also be showing you some beautiful lilies.
But coming up first, begonias. Well, I'm out here this morning. We're out at Little Prince, and I'm with Mark. And Mark, we have begonias today.
We do.
And so tell me something about the begonias. It's a great selection.
Yeah, so I've separated the begonias on this table into two groups. Well, actually three. There's a lone one here. So on this end are rhizomatous begonias. They have they have a rhizomatous root system. And on the other end are cane begonias, and they're going to get a lot taller. All of these, with the exception of this one, are tropical, and so but they make amazing houseplants. They're very easy to care for. A begonia is one of the most forgiving plants that I know of in terms of being a houseplant, because you can not water it for a while. It will get droopy, but when you water it again, it perks right back up. So I love begonias. They will do really well in indirect light, and frankly, they're one of the easiest houseplants. And as you can see here, there's a lot of different variations of leaf color and shape. So let me just point out a few of these that I really like. Probably one of my favorites is Begonia solimutata. And when this one is, this has been in a greenhouse, when it gets into a little bit darker situation, it's going to become a lot darker. The dark will become a lot almost black, and the green will get a lot brighter. So this is a super cool begonia that I really love. This is one we don't actually have them for sale yet, but we will soon because our stock is pretty good on them now. This is one of the oldest cultivars of rhizomatous begonias. It was bred in Germany in 1845, and it's called beefsteak. This is also one that I love at Little Prince because it's called Froggy. And one of the things I want to point out about this, some of you might be familiar with one called escargot, which has a really cool twist in the leaf. Well, this has that same twist that escargot has. And that is a genetic trait that kind of carries out through rhizomatous begonias. So, and this, I think you'll see Little Prince bringing a lot more rhizomatous begonias into the trade over the next few years.
And then you also talked about these begonias.
So those are
cane begonia.
Those are cane begonias, and they will get a lot taller. They're ones that you'll definitely, as you grow them, you're going to want a bigger. They'll need a bigger pot. And they'll probably need to be staked as you grow them, because they'll get a couple feet tall if you let them. There's some very cool, like the one in the middle there that you're looking at is Miss Mummy. Really cool leaf pattern.
Right. And then like this guy here, the Fanny Mosier.
Yeah.
With the the raised spotting on it.
Yeah,
I mean, there's just real intense coloring. So.
Yeah.
And then you called them angel wing begonias.
Angel wings. So and you can, the shape of the leaf is reminiscent of an
looks like an angel
wing. Yeah.
And then you talked about one lone one also, which is
so
this guy.
That's Begonia grandis, and it's actually a hardy begonia. I believe it's a zone 6. I mean, it will take. You can plant it outside. It will live year round here in the Pacific Northwest. If you look at the underside of the leaf of that one, it's red.
Oh yeah, it's got a great
And
color.
so we actually sell a pink flowered one and a white flowered one here at Little Prince. Fabulous landscape plants for shade to moderate, half sun,
So, with this great selection that, we're collecting and, looking at all the time, it's fun to be able to see all of these come in and the excitement that we're getting, from the viewers and the homeowners that are able to now access these. So, keep, finding all these plants online and bringing them in and getting the access is really cool, because there's some really great stuff that's in the pipeline.
And especially with these hardy begonias, collecting expeditions are going on now in high elevation in Southeast Asia, in Vietnam, Cambodia, and if you get high enough up in the mountains in tropical countries, you find climate zones that are similar to the Pacific Northwest. And so there are some collections going on now. We actually have some stock plants of some very cool hardy begonias that we'll be introducing at Little Prince over the next few years. I'm super excited.
Yeah. So, for more information on these begonias and where you can find them, you can go to Little Prince Plants, or you can go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over. So, Mark, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
So for the parts of your life that just can't stop, it's essential to keep moving forward safely. And now it's easier than ever to own a brand new Subaru from Capital. Not only can you shop hundreds of Subarus online and get questions answered instantly, but now you can test drive, finance, and even complete your purchase all from the comfort of your home. So keep planning for the future. We'll be here to help make the road ahead just a little bit smoother. Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Build a beautiful home inside and out at French Prairie Perennials. Inside, we have just the right creative elements to complete your decor. We offer an oasis of unusual, nature-inspired garden and home gifts and accessories. Outside, choose from our wide selection of unique dwarf conifers and sparkling companion plants. French Prairie Perennials, located between Woodburn and Wilsonville. Take exit 278 to Aurora and French Prairie Perennials.
This is an amazing place to come for flowers and for fragrance. I'm at the Lily Market in Forest Grove, and I'm with Ken. And Ken, it's just feast for the eyes today. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, they are beautiful.
And so you're really going to give us a little primer, a little tiny one, about different kind of lilies. Because when we think of lilies, we think of stargazer, which is very famous. But you have some that are different than that, tall, short. So what did you want to touch on?
Well, we grow, there's 9 classifications or divisions, and we grow 7 of them. And the most popular ones, of course, are the Orientals, which are like stargazer. And the Orient Pets and the Asians are the 3 most popular. The Orient Pet's a cross between an Oriental and a trumpet lily. And they can get quite tall, as do the Orientals, like Casablanca and a few others. The Orient Pets normally are called tree lilies, or American hybrids, and they can get up to 10 feet tall with a stem of around 3 to 4 inches. So they're quite sturdy once they get established. The new variety that's only been on the market for about 10 years are the double rose lilies. They are they are fragrant, but they have no stamen, which creates the pollen that people are allergic to. So, and they are fragrant. They are one of the most popular ones now.
That's nice. And there's no staining either. When people that are so nervous about getting stains on their clothes or on their tablecloths, it's kind of nice to have these.
Yeah, well, there's an easy way to take care of that. When you cut your stem, you just tip it upside down and cut the
of course,
stamens off. So.
And so there's so many different kinds, but really there's tall, short. What kind of care do they all get?
This time of year, you want to water twice a week, and as they emerge in the spring, you don't want to let that new growth or the bulb run shy of water, because that'll decrease the bulb size and all you'll get is a stem. Next year, nothing. So you want to, this time of year, twice a week watering. You want to fertilize with our custom blend in the spring as they're emerging, and then again in the fall when they're done. And that's really about it. You want to, of course, take care of the slugs in the spring and the fall.
Right.
So, and with organic slug bait.
Ah, perfect. And then, so we can put them in beds, and then we can put them in pots too. There's some small enough to do that.
Yes, you can. In fact, you can do the American hybrids or the Orient pets in pots too, as long as you use I usually recommend a whiskey barrel type size. You can get about 6 to 8 bulbs in one of those, and plant some annuals around the edges so it accents the foliage and everything.
Ah, that's great. Well, you know, when you come up here, you can get plants in pots, lilies to take home, and you can get bouquets. I'm going to go over and talk to Sylvia and hear about that. Aren't these lovely? This is something new this year, Sylvia.
Yes. I make these fresh bouquets up every morning. I make a variety of colors. They're reasonably priced, so you can come to the farm, enjoy our garden, and then when you leave, you can purchase a beautiful bouquet.
And you can also take plants home.
You can take plants home. Here we have them all in alphabetical order, and you just go and pick your lily, or you can order lily bulbs here at the farm and you would pick them up in the springtime. And come and enjoy this beautiful atmosphere. We have a gorgeous view. And for COVID-19 rules, we require masks. And when you walk through the garden, if there's not very many people here, you stay 6 feet apart. You can bring that mask down to enjoy more aroma. And if someone comes near you, please apply your mask.
Right.
Again. Yeah.
You just want us to be safe, of course.
Just want everybody to be safe, and we want everyone to come and enjoy the lilies.
Yeah. They are so gorgeous. Really, to come out to the country, it's just in Forest Grove, and just see this beautiful view and all these lovely lilies, and the fragrance is just delicious. So please go to gardentime.tv. We have all their information there, and you can find out how to get here. Thanks so much.
Thank you for coming.
Garden Time's Incredible Edibles.
So this segment is all about garlic. You know, we planted this garlic last fall and now it's ready to harvest. But before we harvest, I want to tell you about the scapes that we used in some delicious cooking dishes. So this is hardneck garlic, and it sends up a little stalk with a seed head that's actually edible. So when you do cut it, there's going to be a little hard part to it, and then there's a soft part to it that it's like a curlicue, and it ends in a little bit of a seed head. So that soft part is the part that you eat. So we've cooked it, we sauteed it, we put it in eggs, we used it also with potatoes. You can even use it on fresh salads. It's going to have just a mild garlic flavor. So it's something really cool to use that scape for. And it's good to cut that off and use it somehow, because you want all the energy to go down to the bulb, just like you do with tulips, because the bulb is what we use in even more dishes. It's the garlic bulb. So when the stalks start to die back, at least 3 leaves start to die back, it's time to harvest. So when you do go to dig them up, just be really careful. You don't want to put your trowel right through the garlic bulb. So this one was deeper than I thought it was going to be, and so you just really kind of loosen up the soil and gently pull it out. And look at that beautiful garlic bulb. You do want to save this stem, because now we're going to kind of just brush it off. We're just going to kind of do that, and then we're going to bunch them together and hang them in a dry, cool spot away from any sunlight. And you can bunch them together, and then you can start using it in maybe about 6 to 8 weeks, and really you're going to have garlic for a long time. You know, this is the time to start looking at that garlic and harvest your bounty.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Do you want to be green? Do the easy stuff first. Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. The U.S. House Energy and Commerce Committee says for every $1 spent on a shade tree, you can save $5 on cooling, blocking the penetrating heat in the summer and allowing the warm rays through in the winter. Dollar for dollar, there's no better energy and money saver than a good, deciduous shade tree. Portland Nursery's professionals can help you make the perfect selection. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
The fields are open. Come see the dahlias blooming at Swan Island Dahlias in Canby. The annual festival has been canceled, but you don't have to wait until the end of August to enjoy all the color. Safely walk the almost 40 acres of blooms. Pick up some cut flowers and visit our gift shop. Place an order for Dahlia tubers online and receive 10% off your order through September. We're open 6 days a week through the end of September. Swan Island Dahlias, America's leading dahlia grower, located just off I-5 in Canby.
I am at the Stark Street Portland Nursery with Laura, and Laura, we actually got an email from a viewer who says, I have this problem. I have a front north-facing porch, and I need ideas for color May till the end of summer, early fall. So help.
Yes, of course. There's so many options. And the truth with shade is to embrace not just flowers, but foliage and texture, because there's so many delicacies in the shade palette for that, which is really fun. So I picked out some perennials, some evergreens that will be there year round. So when spring starts, you already have color. And one of them is this Carex Everillo. It's bright gold, so it really pops in the shade. And it kind of can spill over the edge of the pot a little bit.
Lovely.
And then you can contrast it with different coral bells, the heuchera.
Look at that.
And you've got a nice color contrast, and the burgundy, you can pick up the colors in the pots. So those are a couple of plants that will be year round.
Right.
And then you can supplement that with other annual type things.
So we don't have pansies and primrose this time of year. So what do you suggest for like summer?
For summer color, my favorites are the begonias.
Oh, look at that. That is beautiful.
Yeah, nice and bright. I love begonias. They don't require a ton of water. So when you're busy in the summer and doing a lot of things, the begonia's still going to be happy with you. And you've got some fun colors to choose from, both the peach and the rose, which are really great.
Really
and they
nice.
don't require a ton of water.
Nice.
Which is really nice.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
What else in your bag of tricks there?
Well, in my bag of tricks, I also have some really luscious tropical looking foliage. There's always the classic sweet potato vine, which you can complement the chartreuse grass. And then the concoleus are just mammoth in their leaf. And who needs a flower with that bright color?
Right. How dramatic.
Very dramatic.
Really lovely.
So those are two fun ones. The sweet potato vine would be a wonderful complement to this lemon wave hydrangea.
Look at that.
Which has got the variegation, and see how the lime green just picks up the leaves there. So you could just have a simple container of just the hydrangea and fill in with some annuals throughout the summer. The hydrangea, you could put primroses under them in early spring, or some pansies to get some early punch of color, and then pull them out and replace them with sweet potato vine or impatiens are another good idea.
And it's really nice to have a focal point that stays all the time, and then you just play off of it. That's really helpful, because sometimes we're just at a loss of what to do with any kind of container.
Yes.
But for a shade one, I think it's more challenging.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, I think when you come to Portland Nursery, either on Division or on Stark, they have so many people that are very well versed in all kinds of plants. We're actually right now in the shade house, so you'll find shade perennials in here, shade shrubs. But really, please go to gardentime.tv, quickly over to their website. You can find out all about their hours, and really to get out here and get some more plants for your container or for the garden. Thanks so much, Laura.
Thank you, Judy.
I'm out here at Terra Casa with Diana, and it's a beautiful day. People have been in their yards, they've been gardening, and they've been planting trees and shrubs. But flowers come and go. But you have some really fun, colorful pieces for the yard that might not be blooming.
Well, yeah, when you're needing that pop of color year-round, this is what you might go to. So there's a lot of stuff here that is just yard decor, garden decor, the metal art, the think outside metal pieces, which are functional as planters as well as just an art piece. And then we have the shroomies that are
which are super cute.
Yeah, they're made now to be outside year-round as well. A lot of color you can bring. This is really one of those whimsical novelty things that make you smile when you walk by your own garden. It's just, they're really fun.
Yeah, I mean, we're spending all this time, out on our patios. We've been working all spring on, decorating everything up. But some people forget to put in does other things in the garden. It's not
Right,
just
right.
plants.
And there's a lot of different ways you can do it. There's spheres, there's ceramic garden spheres you can just set in your landscape. There's the poles that you can put in, the welcome poles. That are also, they're on a stake that can go pretty much anywhere in your yard and garden. So bird baths.
Yeah, I was just going to say the bird feeders are
and bird
super
baths.
cool.
Yeah, they're really fun. There's this line is expanded greatly. This company, these are one of a kind pieces. So they're not inexpensive, but they are truly a collector item. And we have people who are now coming in to add to their collection.
Right, and like you said, they're all like lacquered and preserved, so they can be outside.
Yes,
so they're not just going to rust and rot away, which is super fun. So it's great to be able to add that splash of year-round color just for the whimsy in the yard.
Right.
So Diana, it's a pleasure to be out here. It's so fun to come and browse around and look at all the pottery and the pots and the indoor decor, and especially all the fun, bright colored outside decor. So make sure you come on out to Terra Casa, come out and visit Diana and her staff, and come get inspired for your yard and how to decorate it.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature Blooming Advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
A destination farm and garden market featuring the very best each season has to offer. Smith Berry Barn offers seasonal farm fresh fruits and vegetables and specialty herbs and perennials. Visit the historic barn for distinctive gifts, gourmet foods, and homemade milkshakes. Right now we have fresh picked or pick your own berries ready in our fields. Here's what we have to offer this week. Centrally located off of Shoals Ferry Road between Sherwood and Hillsborough. Smith Berry Barn, growing good taste from the ground up.
Well, I'm out here at the Swan Eye and Dahlias. I'm with Heather, and we're in the stunning display garden. So Heather, the dahlias are blooming, and you guys are open, and the fields are open?
We are. Fields open today.
Excellent. But things are a little bit different this year.
They are. We have the display gardens open and the fields, but unfortunately we have to cancel the festival. So the festival and the activities that go along with that won't happen this year.
But there, you can still come out and, and wander the gardens,
The
right?
fields are open 6 days a week, August through September. So you've kind of got 60 days in there just about to be able to come and visit.
Right. So it doesn't have to be just during the festival to come out and still enjoy what you have going on here.
Yes.
And you said, you're going to be closed on Wednesdays?
We're going to close Wednesdays this year in August and September for maintenance on our fields and things.
Okay.
So.
But they can still, we're standing out here in the display gardens and things are just in full bloom. So.
Yeah, they're gorgeous this year. We did a little unique situation. We normally don't leave the dahlias in. All of our fields and everything are dug every year, and usually the display garden is dug too. But this year it got a jump start. We left it in, so they're blooming a little sooner than normal and a little more bloom, so it's even better to come see early.
Right, so they can enjoy these. Everything's labeled, so they know what everything is.
Yeah.
And the fields are just they're popping now. So that's this is their time to shine. So they can come out and do this. And then if they want to purchase the dahlias.
Yeah, so you can place an order. Then we will ship you the bulbs, the tubers in the spring.
Okay.
So that you can grow any of these beauties in your yard, and you can pick your favorites while you're here, because I think it's important to see them growing.
Oh, absolutely.
Because just a photo of a flower, it doesn't do it justice. Some plants are tall and slender, some are big and shrub-like, some are really short and little. So I think it's really good to see them and not go by just a flower picture.
Right, because the picture of a small bloom like this versus some of these giant ones are night and day difference.
Right.
It's great to see the scale of
yeah, and some have amazing plants, while others have maybe a more thin, less foliage type plant. So it's good to see whatever you're going to want in your yard. See them growing.
And you do have, a lot of these are available as cut flowers too.
Yeah,
right?
we do a lot of cut flowers. You can special order for special events 48 hours or more in advance for pickup, so you can get exactly the varieties you need and the amount of bunches. Or you can come, we have a self-serve stand that's open during business hours, and it's really a no contact. It's really kind of nice because you can just walk in, pick up the flowers you want, drop your money in the box, and off you go. And that's open the 6 days a week while we're
Right.
open.
And why people are out here, do you have certain protocols that you want them to follow?
We
Just to make sure
do.
everybody's safe?
We ask, of course, keep your distance like
Right.
we are. Masks are required indoors in the gift shop. We
Okay.
do have hand sanitizer positioned all over the farm. And we're going to try and keep our distance just between families or anybody not in the same household. So even though we're outside, we still want people to respect that distance so that we don't have to go to masks outside solidly.
Exactly. So it is the beginning of the dahlia season, and people that already have dahlias in their yard, what are some tips that you can kind of give them to keep those dahlias going throughout the summer?
Well, we're in a nice stretch of warm weather, and watering is probably one of the most important things that people forget about with their dahlias. Dahlias need deep watering, so it's best to water a few times a week for a long period of time, rather than going out every morning and giving it a couple minutes of the hose running on it. We really want you to use a sprinkler, a soaker hose. A little bit of water for a longer period of time will get down, and the roots are down 8-10 inches.
Right?
Yeah, and so if you're just going out there and pouring on or letting the hose run for a minute or two, it's never going to reach the roots, and what you're going to find is you have a green plant with no flowers or very little flowers. And that's one biggest mistake, or the thing that we hear most is, I have this gorgeous green plant, but it won't bloom.
Right.
Second thing is, if it's more than 3 feet tall or it's going to reach over 3 feet, we recommend staking it.
Okay.
If a dog or a wind or a rainstorm comes through later in September and knocks that over, most likely you've lost the entire stalk and it's got to start over. Where if you stake it, good chances, less issue.
Right.
We've already recommended that you top your dahlia, so hopefully you've done that. If you haven't, you can find out on our website, but that also creates a rounder, more stable plant.
And you have all this great information for people. So what's the best place for them to go to find out the information?
So our website is dahlias.com, and that's plural, so DAHLIAS.com, or really social media. We do a lot of, if you like us or follow us on Instagram or Facebook, we give a lot of hints, a lot of tips, information about what's happening here at the farm, what you can see, what you can do, what's coming and going at that point.
And so you even have a discount, so if people are following you on Facebook, right?
We do. The social media lets us advertise and share those discounts, but we are going to run and are running a 10% off all orders placed now through the end of September. So if you're on it early and getting ready for next spring, thinking ahead, place your order early and you'll get a 10% off your entire order.
Which is great. So make sure you go to Swan Island Dahlias, go to their website, go to your Facebook page, or you can go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to all this great information. So Heather, it's been amazing to be out in the middle of these dahlias. So
thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for watching Garden Time. And this week's episode was a slam dunk.
For more information about today's show, please go to gardentime.tv and click the This Week's link. And now Ryan is going to show us his dribbling skills.
Judy, I think I'm a better gardener than I am a basketball player.
Parts of this episode of Garden Time were recorded before COVID-19 and social distancing requirements. Enjoy a summer of art and color. Visit the Oregon Garden for Art in the Garden now through the end of September. See outstanding and inspired art that represents both traditional and modern styles, carefully placed throughout the garden. See the combination of beautiful plants and great art as you stroll the gardens. Just pick up your map at the Visitors Center on your next visit. For details, go to OregonGarden.org. Art in the Garden is presented by Capital Subaru. The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.